Out of the last thing I fucking find. Actually, I know where the hell is. Oh my god, my back. Hold on. Don't got much left of it. Yo! Nice!
Start.
Alrighty. Yeah. Hang on, I gotta show y'all something. Caveman Gaming. Nice! Old Death Moon. Damn. Damn, my timing's off. Fuck. Hang on. Death Moon Rave. Oh, I can do this. This is easy. Damn. I'm extremely stoned. When I was clicking game, I wouldn't give me a second. I need to get to my fucking head ass. I hate both of these game modes. Okay. There's gotta be like a fake block or something around there. Not possible. Bruh. Looked around the town. Come on, we got this. We got this. This level's easy. I lagged. Oh, I can definitely beat Ronald McDonald. This level's piece of cake. Whoa! I don't like this. The effects are strong enough to make my brain have an aneurysm. Oh, you have to go on that block. I thought I could skip it. Why'd I jump?
What?
Fuck! Turn that back on. Hang on, I want to test something. I want to test how to make sure this mod menu's no clip works. I'm just making sure I beat this level countless times. I'm gonna make sure playing it, not played it in forever. It indeed works. It works. The no clip indeed works. That's how to make sure. Sleep stage. I don't like this level already. I clicked. My life has come to this now, and I has my life come to this now, I can't even rhyme anymore, boys. This level's gonna give me an aneurysm. I hate it. Schnitzel pretzel down the sarcophagus. Oh no. Oh. Hey. What the fuck am I streaming? My stream hasn't popped up or anything. Showing it. Shows it on my PC, but it doesn't on my phone. Heard that, you. Pulse. I don't want to stream now on here. Now. Shit! Yeah, fuck. Does not want to show up. This piece of bullshit. Oh, no wonder. It's set on unlisted. Why? Never mind. There it is. How was that shit set to unlisted? Come on. Never mind. I was wondering, because, like, everything looked to be going good. Alright. Alright, I should be back up. Yo, what up, Daniel? I got it back up now. It should be good and running. I fixed the should have fixed the delay better. Hopefully. I am not live on Kick right now. I'm only doing YouTube right now. I'm only doing a small little stream. Just gonna chill out and drain what's left of this heart I got. Not much left in it. Hard. The man. What up, W? Oh my.
Ooh, it's a good thing I done that. No reason to not drop it. Any more paths down here? Okay, I got one there. One here. Should go up. Oh, she kicked the gym. Okay. Somebody broken. Or hindered, I mean. finish this generator. Probably won't be able to though. Yeah, definitely not. Is he gonna come back up here?
Depends on what you say in them.
Okay, sure. Oh my gosh, bro. She really gonna slug, or she's gonna get the gen. Bro, if you play like this, bro, then I literally hate you if you play like this. I'm not joking. Yay. Complete idiotic killer. If you don't know how to play, sorry if you played badly. Doesn't matter. I don't even know how you played. At least she didn't slug me out the whole time like I thought she would. Oh, bro, I forgot to see. I forgot to look at my blood points. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna get to like level 15 and then stop. for now. Okay, that's the last time. Finish it first. That's the last time. Alright, I want to switch to, after this, I'm going to switch to Killer. After this match. We're going against Clown. Great. Someone that's very hard to loop. Pretty much impossible. To actually, like, loop, anyway. Oh, my diamond's on. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. He's got corrupt. Corrupt intervention. Alright, let's see. Here is Terror Radius. Why do I run to the killer every single time? Every time, man. What the heck is he doing? What the heck? Seems to be a smart killer as well. Corrupting that gen? Yeah. No. Wonder if he had pop. Nowhere to hide, maybe. Life.
Good. I can honestly care less about SML parodies, though. They're almost all trash.
I can't wait to go to Killer. I hate Clown, bro. Bro, of course he detached. How did I see his aura? Oh yeah, you see the map. You can see your teammate's aura, can't you?
I don't know.
Bro, does he have like nurses calling or some shit on Clown? Like, what the heck? Who uses nurses calling on Clown? Nurses calling or cheating? He 100% has nurses. I don't think he's cheating. Even if he was cheating, he would have nurses to hide. He is cheating. You probably shouldn't have done that. I think he's coming back. Yeah, let's say it's this pallet here. You're on death hook. Guess I get the unhook since Meg is injured and she's getting chased. Oh my diamonds on. Oh my gosh, that actually worked. It did. Well, let's go, man. Get on this generator right here. shit, he's on death hook. Where's he? I need to take a hit. Right here. Oh, he's in a bad. Okay, nice. Gotta hit the hit. Sorry, bro. Tried. That sucks. I hate this killer, bro. I wanna grab him, and I just wanna rip him in half, man. Especially like this skin makes me want to do it even more. Like it really does. Yo, what's up? What's up, King? Welcome in. Bam, boom, bam, boom, boom. I hate this killer, yeah. I really hope he gets kill switch forever. You made it to Erie 4 Survivor and 3,060,000 blood points. Nice. He ain't gonna know. He ain't gonna know. Bro, why do you check there? He's hacking. Oh, I don't got my life. I'm dead. What? Shit. Life. Oh, okay, let's go. Like, why did he break the pallet there, I wonder? I mean, it doesn't matter, he's gonna get me, but like, I think I could even faster the other way. Bro, I was over the pallet, man. I'm literally over it. Hate this red-nosed bitch. All you know is you're glad you accomplished so much today. Nice.
Welcome back.
I've been on the internet for a long time now. At this point, I think it's adding up to almost 7 years, and in that time, I've met a lot of people online. Back then, though, this was less out of choice and more of necessity, because before the days of people studying the YouTube algorithm and optimizing their videos for maximum potential, the best way to get big on YouTube was through shoutouts. And to get shoutouts, you usually had to make connections with other people and collaborate. That was the advice given by so many others, and it was called networking, which is actually a real thing in the business industry. I can remember countless people who I was in group chats with, and they were just riding off the coattails of others. Some were very talented, others not so much, and the fate of those people today is mixed. Some of them just fall off the face of the earth and you never hear from them again, and some, usually with incredible potential, set their careers alight in a blaze of depravity. Such is the case of Silly Rally. Despite the cartoon critic staying at a measly 2,000 subscribers, he had insane potential and was friends with some big creators due to how active he was with networking. Predictably, his career would fall due to his lack of controlling his inhibitions, but the way in which he did it was eerie. Here is a man who didn't let the mask slip for months on end, and when it finally did, his career was unrecoverable. So, let's explore that story. This is the tale of Silly Rally. You wouldn't think that such a small footnote in the cartoon community and a YouTuber with 2,000 subscribers would have such an in-depth and well-documented history, but Silly Rally is an exception, and he's been on the internet a lot longer than you think. Even though his earliest public videos from 2018, he's actually been making videos since 2011, when he was just 10 years old. According to him, he thought of his online name after spotting a Rally gas station whilst on a drive with his parents in his home state of Florida. He said to himself that the name sounded silly, and thus got Silly Rally.
Hi guys, Silly Ray 321 here, and I got an orange bird from Toys R Us. It is really awesome. It does have sound. I'm going to show you that in a minute. First of all, he has a really tall beak. It's really awesome. It's really hard to find this plush. The eyebrows, it looks really good, really awesome. The eyes are really different from the other ones.
These first videos on the channel Silly Rally 321 from 2011 to 2013 are about as amateurish and cringy as you can imagine from a 10-year-old. Yet these kinds of videos are incredibly rare in an age of lost archives. Even then, it takes a long time before Silly Rally actually starts talking in his videos, because most of them are made with him playing Roblox, where the video narration is from him typing in-game. This is where you'll find such classics as me playing Nazi zombies, dance, and what the heck? But it's clear that he knew what being a YouTuber was all about back then, and when you get into his videos where he's speaking, usually whilst playing with Angry Birds plushies and toys, it's actually really interesting and kinda nostalgic.
This is Silly Ray 321, and this is me. Well, I'm not showing you my face though. You know I'm young and all that. Yeah, I'm a little kid. Yeah, you think that I'm a good teen, but I'm not. I'm just gonna give you some news. I'm gonna make some videos every Thursday. Wow, how really exciting.
Yes, this is far from high quality content, but we only remember our childhood through distant and sometimes distorted memories, and I can remember just playing with my action figures and narrating stories as if I was doing them on YouTube, except I was never allowed to upload. To see a video version of a more carefree life is pretty cool to witness, and to see a kid as young as this making videos and having a clear passion to create is intriguing and foreshadows what kind of creativity we would later see. In mid-2013, the Silly Rally 321 channel would stop uploading. No real reason has been given on why this happened, and even Silly Rally on his 1000 subscriber special wants to deny this channel has ever existed, but at a guess, he probably just forgot the password. Thanks to that though, he would make a new channel, shorten the name to just Silly Rally, and start uploading videos on there. Now that Silly Rally had upgraded from using his phone camera to a PC, he started getting more involved in online communities and making online friends. Now, he already knew how to make online friends before on Roblox, but this would start to be more interesting when he started making Minecraft videos. Though none of his videos from back then are still available today, there are still videos where he appears on other people's channels.
Hey guys, it's basically Raleigh and
me, Bulk Moon. Yeah.
hello Bulk Moon. This is my friend Bulk Moon, my BFF. Best friend forever, not GFF. What the freak? I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways.
Hello guys, this is Epic here, and I'm with my friends.
Yeah, I do have it.
Yeah, and I'm with my friends, Silly Rally, Zactus MC, and Fucker KRM. And they're not gonna say hi.
Hi, hello.
Okay, I'm surprised. Okay.
But that's not all. There's also an old Twitter he used to have, where he tweeted about Minecraft. There's also a modded Minecraft map that he co-created, and even his own website, which links to a private video where he plays Five Nights at Freddy's. This is also the first time we see the Silly Rally character, donning the red hoodie and green-black checkered neck scarf. Around the same time, Silly Rally was also really starting to get into art and cartoons. Even from his old channels, you can find videos where he shows off his drawings of Angry Birds, and one of the two accounts he followed on his old Twitter was Nickelodeon. When it came to his Minecraft channel, he would often make speed paints, as per his website, and people would draw his character in return. However, as 2016 rolled around, things would change. With the advent of cringe culture rising up, Minecraft as a video game started to become ridiculed, not just for its childish fanbase, but also because of the numerous predators that circled the game. Playing Minecraft was suddenly uncool, and Silly Rally was around 14 at this time, beginning to mature. His interest would change from games like Minecraft and FNAF to watching YouTubers such as Ralph the Movie Maker and Rebel Taxi, who he took inspiration from for his new content. In this post on Fandom Wiki, you can see him asking for some information on the infamous adult animated sitcom The Nut Shack, as he plans to make his own video. Nut Shack review? Hello, my name is Silly Rally, and I'm a content creator. I would love to contact you because I need more information for The Nut Shack. I started editing. I wanted to do a review on The Nut Shack because not a lot of people don't know what it is, and there's less reviews on it. I mean, Rebel Taxi made a cameo. Ralph the Movie Maker did one currently, so I need you and the community to help. Thank you for reading. If you want to contact me back, here's my Twitter and YouTube. Twitter, @RealSillyRally, YouTube, Silly Rally. This would be the foundation for Silly Rally's main format of videos from then to now, as it was structured like a classic rant video. Over time, he would start to develop the style to reach higher and higher standards. By November 2018, his video based on Banjo-Kazooie and their inclusion into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was received well, as was the sequel in April 2019.
In the year 2000, while Smash Bros. Melee was in development, Banjo and James Bond were considered to be a character in Melee. But there were some issues because they both were owned by Rare. Sooner or later, Microsoft bought off Rare in 2002 and moved on from there. Several years later, and this Superior leak shows up. After all of these years, the Bear and Bird have returned to the big screen. The Grinch leak, in my opinion, is the most credible source in Smash Bros. History, with its constant new evidence that pops up almost every day in its large support. This literally reminds me of the ESRB leak from Smash Bros. 4, which no one believed at all. And guess what? It came to life. It actually was true.
Even if there wasn't huge recognition and the upload schedule was sporadic, the quality of the content was there. People liked the small details and creativity he would add to his videos. Starting from 2019, he would also begin interacting with members of the cartoon community on places such as Discord and Twitter. Remember the Roblox and Minecraft videos? This guy's been making online friends since a young age, he's pretty good at doing it, he's good at networking. He was talented, incredibly active online, and to most seemed like a normal person. In May 2020, he would make a video collaborating with Veridis Joe, a YouTuber who had around 50,000 subscribers at the time, and they just talked about Chick-fil-A. That's exactly what made Silly Rally so impressive as a content creator. He was endearing, he was interesting, and he was a breath of fresh air.
Here's what I believe. I believe that Chick-fil-A is more of a 5-star restaurant than a fast food restaurant. What else? Silly Rally. It's a fast food restaurant. Correct. Yes, it is. It is a fast food restaurant. However, it's not. Take this for example. Why is it that you see YouTube videos of people freaking out at these fast food restaurants like McDonald's, and you never see people bitching about Chick-fil-A? The employees are the nicest people you have ever met. That's not fast food. Like, fast food is supposed to be like cold and dried out, and the food is supposed to be like in a acceptable condition.
As well as that, Silly Rally was very friendly and rarely got himself involved in controversy despite having a commentary format in his videos, and instead of talking about online drama, he would talk about games and media, and his status inside the cartoon community would be elevated when an opportunity came to him a few months later. In July 2020, Japanese animation studio Engi would start airing their anime adaptation of the romantic comedy manga Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, and it all created a stir on Twitter. This is because a lot of people aired out their concerns with the main character Hana Uzaki, particularly her massive tits paired with a small, childlike body. You know where I'm going with this. This whole discussion would create a huge war online between the Twitter users and the anime viewers, and in the middle of that, Silly Rally would drop his own input about the situation.
What's the deal with people screaming about this shit? We got fucking the right opinion type profile pictures typing a thesis on why it looks like a kid, rather than writing a script for their 4-hour video about Nikocado Avocado. Man, I'm just mean, holy shit. For real, if you're just really wasting your energy on these weebs online, then you're just giving them more ammunition. You literally are asking other people to go on ahead and flame you. Like, man, don't give it to them. These are anime profile pictures, man. Stop.
Now, this video wasn't really anything special. It was up to the usual Silly Rally standard, and it performed alright. But it's what that video led to that became interesting. One of the most vehement defenders of Uzaki-chan was Hirohei, an anime YouTuber with around 100,000 subscribers at the time, which is a miracle to me because his content is ass. Seriously, what was the appeal of a guy who looked like James Key's abandoned offspring and milked the fuck out of any anime topic he could get his hands on? This guy was like Keemstar for anime news, except without anything that made Keemstar entertaining, or racist, and he seemed to be just as sensitive and reactionary as the Twitter post he criticized in his videos. In September 2020, Silly Rally would make a video talking about Hirohei, criticizing his ego, content, and sensitivity. Now, I was actually expecting to look back on this video and hear some really weak points that I misremembered as being solid back in the day, but that wasn't the case. Silly Rally generally has some great and valid arguments against Hirohei, and it all holds up well as a critique.
Looky here, we have a huge problem in our hands. So this goober thought it would be an amazing idea to actually go out of his way and attack a 100 subscriber YouTuber, Mero, a small channel that makes animatics and slideshows of My Hero Academia, posted a video talking about Hirohei's content in regard to the Uzaki Twitter drama videos. Despite that the script needed more time to be worked on and that it needed more context, most of her points are almost like mine. Although the problem here is that Miss Hero jumps to conclusions like,
now that's totally fine. She doesn't have to like my content. The thing is, though, she takes this so much further, accusing me of being a map, and basically accusing any fan of Uzaki of also being such.
The guy jumps to conclusions saying that they called him a pedo when that's not even their argument. Nowhere in the video she said that he was a pedophile. I actually went out of my way to make an Amino account to discuss with this person, and check this out. They were actually talking about this video he made called Sailor Moon Redraw Challenge is upsetting people all over Twitter. In this video, he defends a not safe for work art of Sailor Moon and says this.
A lot of anime doesn't even tell you the character's age. If you watch anime, and I know I'm speaking to the choir here, I'm just talking in generalizations here, excuse me, to make this point. If you watch anime, you know that for the most part, you don't know a character's age. In most anime, they don't go out of their way to be like, yes, by the way, this character is X years old. Some anime does. Very rarely. Most anime doesn't tell you a character's age. You would have to go out of the way to look it up or something. So I really feel like these weirdos who get all mad about the age are self-projecting, because no one is thinking about that because it's not really relevant to most anime. The age doesn't really matter to most anime. It really doesn't. You don't even know about it, and it's not relevant to the anime for the most part.
Bro, it's not crazy to assume they are underage, considering the fact that they are in high school. It's in the background, for fuck's sakes. If you would have made the assumption that they were hiding context purposely, then you would have definitely noticed the footage she used in the background, and you would have got the idea that they were not talking about Uzaki-chan's age, which was not their argument at all.
The video would perform pretty well for Silly Rally, getting around 5,000 views at the time, and past the mindless Hirohei fans who seemed to comment before watching any point from the video, it was received well in the comments, and Hirohei would learn his lesson by just doing the same thing. I wonder what he's up to now.
And a feminist group / feminist league thought that the VTuber was offensive and problematic because of her schoolgirl outfit, and they tried to get this event canceled for, again, it was like an event literally to promote public safety, something good, and they tried to cancel it because schoolgirl outfit.
While Silly Rally would never have any of his other videos perform as well as the Hero Hey one, this would make him generally respected as a content creator inside the smaller spheres of the cartoon community. Around this time, he was interacting with the likes of Turkey Tom, LS Mark, Just Stop, and so many others. And from that video, he gained a small but loyal audience, and the notoriety of it would earn him some valuable collaborations. As well as that, he would get to 1,000 subscribers a few days later, and finally gave us all the long-awaited face reveal. On January the 1st, 2021, Silly Rally would become part of the Down Bad Boys, a group/podcast inside the cartoon community. This group consisted of Silly Rally himself, as well as Veritas Joe, Smeef, Large Black Male, DJ Something, and Kiwingly, and they would record 14 episodes, as well as a collection of gaming videos.
This is the first one that wasn't like 100% one-sided. What does this even mean? What is it for now?
Brain don't work no more, huh?
It don't.
This shit gonna be fucked up. This is gonna be fucked. This gonna
really
lead to a story.
Bro. I really got you on that one, bro.
I got Smeef on this one.
We the last one? Yes, sir.
Man, you don't like
I hope it works. I hope it works. If it doesn't, I'm fucked.
This one's kind of mean, but I had to do it to him. I have to get that W. I have to get that W.
In August 2021, the YouTuber Parallax would make a video on Hero Hey, in which he featured a part of Silly Rally's video. This would earn the video around 60,000 views. You may wonder how he already skipped a year from the face reveal, but you gotta remember, inconsistent schedule, not getting into controversy. All that really happened during this time involving Silly Rally is the Down Bad Boys and him consistently improving his content. By October 2021, he would reach 2,000 subscribers after making his Halloween video, and Parallax had even reached out to him concerning the possibility of them working together. It felt like Silly Rally was the next one up, and his next big break was on the horizon. However, what we got was the complete opposite.
So that means that your local content creator has to behave in their own videos and behind the scenes. And if they make one mistake,
Crunchy boy.
then boom, their career is over. There's no way they can recover. They have been officially canceled. All the creators' fans no longer show respect to them and see them as the amalgamation of evil itself. What sucks about this is how it could happen to anyone who is getting themselves out there in the internet, including me.
On the 21st of December 2021, an individual by the name of Moneybag Joe would start posting allegations that Silly Rally, or Chris as he's known in real life, had been grooming a 14-year-old whilst he was 18. The post in question contains screenshots of their conversations on Discord from the 27th of January 2020. I am, just charging. Okay, well I'm gonna go in the shower, I'll text you when I'm done. Alright babe. Heart. Heart. Whoa. Heart. Due to Moneybag tagging a lot of Silly Rally's friends, the allegation gained some attention, although most of it was negative, with a lot of people attacking the original poster due to a lack of evidence. On one hand, this kinda makes sense, and you shouldn't make allegations when you don't even have proof of the supposed girl being 14. On the other hand, these people went way too hard on this post. Following this, Silly Rally would make a public and unusually open response to this via a tweet longer on the 23rd of December. This tweet longer tells how Silly Rally and Julie had met in high school when he was 17 and she was 14. They would start talking to each other and play games together, and it went from a platonic relationship to a romantic interest. At the time, Julie's mother worked at the school and was supposedly fine with them both hanging out at various places, such as the mall, the movies, and Silly Rally's house. According to this tweet longer, the two of them hung out from December 2019 to March 2020, and he had turned 18 the month before. Silly Rally goes on to clarify how nothing sexual happened at any of those places, and talks about how the girl herself was being forward in her advances. Some of these instances were fine, such as when they cuddled, but others made Silly Rally uncomfortable, particularly when she grabbed his butt and prompted whilst at the movies, or when they were at the park and she tried to jump on top of him. Silly Rally states that he expressed his discomfort clearly and immediately, vocally telling her not to do it or pushing her away. Silly Rally goes on to say that during February 2020, the two of them sent sexual messages to each other on Snapchat.
People are
According to him,
weirdos.
there were no nudes or NSFW
People are
phone conversations
weirdos.
involved. It just happened over text for a few days before Silly Rally realized how weird it was. Although the girl was fine with it, Silly Rally realized it wasn't, and would tell her he did not want to continue talking to her in any way they'd been doing before. She didn't want it to end and did not want to listen to him, so he blocked her on everything. Soon after, she would call him, along with her friend and her sister on the line, lashing out at him and only having an issue with the age gap after the relationship was over. This was the last time they would interact until recently, when he got a comment on his Instagram and TikTok saying that he'd hung out with a 13-year-old. Silly Riley finishes off by saying that he was not a groomer and did not get into an official relationship with Julie, but expressed regret for his weirdo behavior and took responsibility. He took issue with the fact that the original accusation had tagged a bunch of his friends and mutuals, and ended it off wanting to move on, as he believed he had matured and didn't intend on addressing this forward. Most people responded to this statement when it came out with an outpouring of support towards Silly Riley, which is weird because this guy literally just admitting to sexting a 14-year-old when he was 18 in his own twitlonger. To give some sense to this is quite a manipulative twitlonger. The writing here makes him out as an individual who recognizes mistakes, and it seemed as if he'd been a victim of sexual harassment in other instances. He'd also given way more information than he needed to in response to one screenshot, which greatly improved his credibility. People weren't totally up to forgive him, but he was very open, and the idea that he had groomed or preyed on this girl was pretty weak so far, especially considering the lack of evidence from the accusers, and the fact that her parents were supposedly aware of everything. Well, as it turns out, things would not be so black and white. On December 24th, the girl, known as Julie, would make her own statement. She begins by saying that they had actually started talking when he was 17 and she was 13, not 14 as Silly Riley had said. After they had become close friends, she was taken aback when she felt a deeper emotional connection to him, and after she told him about her feelings, he agreed that there was more to their relationship than just being family friends. Soon after, she turned 14, he turned 18, and they began hanging out. Julie says that Silly Riley didn't want to enter an official relationship with her until she was 16, which is the age of consent in Florida, where they both live. And despite that, he would supposedly make sexual advances towards her. One of these instances includes a video call where he gestured to his groin and seemingly had an erection. Whilst he was clothed, the idea of it almost scared Julie because she had never been exposed to anything like that before. In another instance, Julie says that Silly Riley had invited her over to watch movies when in reality he wanted to cuddle. He would take her to the backyard and they would lay on a very small chair together, pressed up against each other. Silly Riley would also say multiple things to Julie, despite apparently
This
not
video
being in a
wouldn't be made
relationship.
if he was
would
mature.
say "Goodnight Princess" to her on a day-to-day basis. At a later date, he told her he wanted to feel the walls of your pussy. Actions like this made Julie incredibly nervous, anxious, and conflicted. On one hand, she thought it was normal and cute that an older man had been calling her his princess, but on another hand, it felt like she wanted to throw up. It's also worth noting that whilst their parents knew they were both friends, they had no idea of the numerous sexual advances, and Julie was reluctant to tell them because she felt like he would get violent, or the adults would listen to his lies over her story. Julie says it took 8 months for her to feel like she had gotten over him, and after that she began to look back on her past in a new light. She recollects seeing movies and narratives of women who got groomed, and started to see a great similarity between them and her, to the point where remembering how he held her, or how he spoke to her on those nights, gave her shivers. Julie finishes off her statement by talking about how he had gaslit her during the call, and talks about her worry from the positive reception that Silly Riley's first twitlonger had gotten. She restates that she had been groomed, these instances were genuinely scarring, and in no way were any of them legal or okay. Julie's story seemed to contradict everything that Chris had said, saying that he was the one that was a lot more forward being sexual towards her, as well as saying that Chris had lied about meeting her only when she was 14. However, still, no evidence. This was still a he said she said situation. On January the 25th, an account by the name of Silly Riley Groom / Justice for Julie would be created, and began compiling everything against him. A lot of the crucial evidence came from a Google Drive folder posted publicly, and it was groundbreaking. Silly Riley's original twitlonger openly describes moments of sexual harassment and his discomfort by saying this. For example, when we went to the movies in January to see Underwater, after the movie they grabbed my butt unprompted, and I immediately told them vocally to not do it, as it did make me uncomfortable and upset, and they continued to do it multiple times after the fact. I clearly expressed discomfort in them doing so, but they continued to be forward. Well, Julie had proof of them meeting up together several times, and him getting touchy with her. One picture from the mall shows her leg across his arms whilst he's holding his phone, accompanied with a short video where he is seen holding her leg. Another short video shows them inside the cinema. Another video, inside Silly Riley's home, shows them sitting on his bed. Julie puts her hand on Chris's butt, as detailed in the twitlonger, but instead of immediately telling them vocally not to do it, Chris responds by slapping her thigh. There's a lot more evidence here of Silly Riley and Julie's interactions. One is a picture of him in his bed, another shows him inside a car along with a short video, and 2 other videos show him laying down on a chair. one of them inside on his gaming chair, whilst another outside on a lounge chair at night. Julie had also taken the instinct to record snippets of a Snapchat call to Chris, and the resulting footage is interesting to say the least.
Your face makes me want to just stay. God damn it. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. I have to leave. Fuck you for looking so beautiful. Stop it. Stop it. Listen. These guns. Oh, wait. These guns aren't just for show. These are for two things. One, doing homework. And two, I can't say it. But you have an idea of what it is.
Yeah, in case you're wondering what the second thing is, according to Julie, it was masturbating.
Good. Alright, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Go ahead. Go ahead. What are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with that hand? You're gonna leave.
Alongside this, there were more screenshots of them talking on call, as well as more Snapchat messages. One of them is the screenshot where Silly Rally is supposedly showing her his erection through his clothes. Julie had also provided several more screenshots of her Instagram DMs with him, and sought to prove the legitimacy of her claims. She screen recorded her Discord DMs and went to Silly Rally's profile, and provided proof of her age by posting her learner's license. It's also worth noting that these Discord and Instagram DMs are notably one-sided, because Silly Rally deleted his side of them. Another of Julie's pictures, which shows her holding a red teddy bear, is one that Chris had given her as a Valentine's gift. And earlier, when she was 13, Julie said she sent him a selfie with her tongue out. Silly Rally replied by saying that she was doing the Ahigo face. Julie had no idea what that was and looked it up, then learned it was related to porn. In Silly Rally's tweet longer, he also talks about the last call he ever had with Julie. He paints it out as him being unjustly attacked by Julie, as her friend and her sister laughed at him.
Expose the
What he didn't
ending?
mention
I'm
is
trying
how
to
he
watch
lashed
this
back,
here.
and how he responded with some very interesting answers.
Fucking prick.
Hello?
People like you that spoil shit deserve the same fate as them. Prison.
You fucking with the wrong person. I know you fucking with the wrong person. I don't play. I don't know who you are. You probably don't, but I know who you are. Like I said again, do you have a problem? You talk a lot of shit for named Tiffany. Are you white? Are you white? No. My parents are both very black, and they both named me Tiffany. Do you have a motherfucking problem?
Talk about how he led me on.
Why did you lead her on? I just want to know like two things. This is why I called you.
Who's lead her on? Who's her? Who the fuck are you talking
Julie, I told you on the voicemail.
Are you fucking goddamn serious?
I'm
Why
being
the fuck are y'all
so
bringing me up something
goddamn
that I don't want to fucking bring up at the beginning?
Cause she's fucking depressed.
Get the fuck out of my life. Y'all is kids.
Okay, so why? If it was a kid, I'm about as old as you are. If it was a kid,
shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
if it was a kid, why were you fucking with her in the first place?
Damn, you sound like a fucking toddler.
If it was a kid, why were you fucking with her in the first place? That's the that's the point. You were trying to. You were trying to. Well, you're gonna have to. Now you don't got Julie.
Fuck out of here. You fucking boring ass fucking.
You get a life and get someone your age and don't lead them on.
I do have a life. I'm actually successful.
Wow. So why are you fucking with a 14-year-old?
I live a nice life, nice house, nice family.
Just
what you
say
got?
like, oh, so all you do is lead people on.
Well, for a person that has all that stuff, you sure do like lead people on.
You got a fucking plug.
I do have multiple plugs. The plug is the person you was trying to fuck with.
Alright?
Huh?
Don't fucking bother my fucking life, alright?
Why were you... Okay, but why... No, listen to me for 1 second. Why were you talking to a 14-year-old to begin with if we're toddlers?
Because I knew that person way long.
Then how do you know cops got him?
How long? I don't know. Probably 2, 3, 4 years, probably.
You care about her enough to lead her on.
You care about her enough to lead her on?
Do I care?
Even if you didn't do it on purpose, you still did it, and you're still affecting someone. And she's really crying over this. I've been to her house.
Okay. Now answer me this.
I'm answering.
Now answer me this.
Okay.
Why the fuck does it matter?
Cause she's
Why
crying.
does it matter?
A 14-year-old is crying about this. You don't care about it? Like, you don't.
Okay, do I give a fuck?
You don't have to give a
Do
fuck.
I give a fuck?
You don't have to give. I'm just letting you know I got a problem with it.
Why the fuck do they care about me in the first place?
Because she thought you were a good person.
About it. They should be
Because
fucking
you
thinking for their own selves. Not what others fucking.
Okay, but since
bro.
they're 14, 14-year-olds can't think. How old are you? How old are you?
I'm fucking 18.
He literally told me that he loved me. Tell him that. You told her you loved her, and she believed it. Well, I saw the messages, so who texted that?
You saw the message, bro. Again, when it comes to literally your fucking old source or your plug, it's fucking lies.
The plug is Julie.
I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Well, tell fucking Julie.
She's right here if you want to tell her yourself. But why is she?
You're starting beef for fucking nothing.
I'm not even trying to start beef, but if you fuck with my friends, you gotta get this.
You call my phone?
Cause I have a problem with you.
There's no problem.
Well, the problem right now, this is the problem. You got my friend over here crying. So maybe you just don't feel bad, don't you? You really just don't feel bad to make it.
I don't, because why are you trying to start beef?
Maybe you should have told her you love her and lead her on. Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't have told her that you loved her. Because she believed it since she's 14.
Why would I need to tell her that?
You already did. That's the problem. You don't love her, but you told her. But I saw it. I saw it. The message is saying, I love you, Julie. Like, that's not necessary if you don't love someone.
I don't.
Well, maybe you should have said that. Okay, I have another question. I also saw messages where you was
No.
You was talking a little nasty to a 13-year-old.
You were literally being delusional. And
Literally being delusional. You sound like a little. I don't even know why you're talking to me.
Bro, shut the fuck up.
Just be like, why did you dirty talk her then? You know what? You a grown ass man. Go live your life.
Exactly.
Leave underage people out of it. You don't even know what I look like, and I bet you I look good.
Trying to fucking start beef over some old ass.
I'll keep it going too. I'll keep it going. I got so much to say. I don't even care if she tell me the sky's orange. I'm gonna believe the sky is gonna be orange. I hope you don't ever talk to a 13-year-old girl again.
Why would I want to talk to a 13-year-old girl?
Cause you did. You did.
Cause I did, cause I fucking knew this person way before you did.
But you were talking to her like you was trying to be in a relationship with her, but you weren't. You didn't mean anything. When you that was literally like.
It was never any relationship.
It doesn't have to be a relationship. You talking to her like you trying to get one, but then you go switch up with her and be like, nah.
Who said I was in a relationship?
No one. You were just trying to get with her in it. You were talking to her like you wanted it.
Be like, so you want to lead people on?
Because I'm saying I love you, does that fucking mean I'm asking for a relationship?
Basically, if you tell
my brother I love
like, is she your brother or your sister or your family member whatsoever? If someone tells me, if someone tells me that they love me and they're the opposite sex, what the fuck does that even mean?
You literally told her you were gonna ask her out when she was 16.
You literally told her you were gonna ask her out. After this, let me get this one more point out there, and I hope this makes you think about what the hell you did. You told her you were gonna date her when she turned 16. But you a lie. You a lie. You lying. Cause
I am?
Yes. She told me that you said you would get with her when she turned 16.
You know what? Alright. I'm just gonna say yes to everything you say, just to literally fuck off, alright?
Okay. Bro, just stop being a fucking bitch. I hope you get your life straight, man. Cause you treating no. Cause I'm really about to get a little pissed off. I'm about to get She about to talk to you. Don't be a dick with her, cause I will get your fucking address and I will fuck you up.
How the fuck am I being a dick?
You're a fucking asshole for leading me on. You're a fucking asshole.
Do you hear her crying over this? You really think I get pissed off if she wasn't crying?
Yes, we
I hope you get a life.
You're saying, you said I love you and you're not even acting like you give a shit. Like, you need to learn how to treat a woman because you let her on. You said I love you. You said you cared. You don't act like you fucking asshole.
You got a problem and I don't got a problem. Now it shows it. Julie, you need to grow the fuck up, alright? Fuck
You
out
grow
my
the
line.
fuck up.
You too, you fucking black ass chick.
Oh, hell no. Let me get it. Okay, Julie, see, he's a fucking asshole.
On January the 26th, media reviewer and YouTuber Zach Quinn will make a thread discussing and summarizing everything inside the Google Drive folder, and from there, the story became a lot more public. The same day, Chris would get back into contact with Julie on Instagram. Hello Julie, are you down to talk? Yes. Alright, so I want to get straight with you about exactly what the problem is. We can talk about whatever you want to bring up. Is that okay? You already know what the problem is. Well, I'd like to know how you personally feel, so I can understand your feelings. There's a lot of claims that are going around, and I just want to touch base. You know what you did was wrong. These aren't just claims, you disregarded my feelings for a long time. I don't understand why you're acting as if you don't know what's going on. Okay, I will go off of the claims of you calling me a groomer and that I led you on in our relationship. In our relationship, you are completely correct, I did lead you on. I did have a connection with you, and I was wrong to say I didn't. However, the reason why you got led on in the first place was because I realized I was growing up and realized I was too old for you. So to claim that I maliciously groomed you is not what happened, because before it could even be considered grooming in any facet, I decided to cut off the relationship for the benefit of yourself and me, but I recognized that we should have had a proper conversation about all of this back then. The definition of grooming: raining, preparing, or conditioning someone, usually over a long period of time. Also used to refer to a pedophile's process of building trust with a child, wearing down the child's boundaries. First of all, you told me to wait until I was 16 years old, the age of consent in the state of Florida, which we both have resided in. Second, you just admitted in the text you just wrote that you've established an emotional connection with me and have led me on. In doing so, you have affected my mental health. You committed a sexual act with me as well, which you admitted to in your twitlonger. Even if nudes were involved, it is still a sexual act nonetheless, and is a part of grooming. A 13-year-old is a literal child. I was not aware of grooming at the time. You were 17 going on 18. You were more mentally developed than that of a 13/14-year-old, a child in middle school. You had to have known. In addition, the call we had with my friend Tiffany, you said if Julie's 14, she needs to learn how to grow the fuck up, shifting the blame onto me. You were gaslighting me, making me think I was in the wrong. If you're still in denial that you groomed me, it still doesn't change the fact that what you did was disgusting and illegal. The law protects minors against adults for a reason. If you actually felt that what you did was wrong and cared, you would have already apologized. If you're only reaching out about the allegations because your ties to the communities have been put in jeopardy due to them, then you are reaching out for the wrong reasons. When I decided to reach out, I wanted to get a better understanding of the situation. You bringing this up publicly made me realize that a conversation needs to be had that I ignored for a while. I honestly thought you'd moved on. Regarding the grooming claim, I got into a relationship with you because you were you, not because you were a minor. I didn't actively seek you out because you were a minor, and the intent from the start wasn't to turn this into a sexual thing. I recognize what I did was fucked up, and I understand your feelings. We should have had a proper talk, instead of me cutting you off the way I did. I recognize and understand that. However, I never intentionally wanted to cause you harm, and for that, I'm sorry. On January the 27th, Silly Riley would put out another statement via twitlonger, responding to everything. And it was a load of shit. The first thing that's addressed here is some claims from the victim's side that the community ignored the first twitlonger and did not hold him accountable for admitting to sexting a 14-year-old. Silly Riley opens up by denying this, but that's clearly not the case because the twitlonger is so publicly available, you can scroll on the replies, you can see for yourself. It was irresponsibly handled. Then, Silly Riley continued to say that he wasn't a groomer because he established a connection with a child when he was a minor. Except that's just really, really dumb logic. After that, he says he isn't a groomer because he was interested in the girl because of who they were and not how old they were. Which is also weird because, really, what personality does a 13-year-old have? He then says that he's learned from the situation, when he literally hasn't, because when the accusations first came up, he gave a false testimony of sexual harassment. He also definitely lied about the age, which he apparently did to not give the implication that he was 13-18, even though that's just a very simple clarification you can make. Silly Riley then admits that the specifics of the sexting and romantic stuff listed were all true. So the teddy bear, holding a leg, cuddling her on a lounge chair, saying you want to feel the walls of her pussy, that's all true. Speaking of bullshit, Silly Riley then addresses the phone conversation. Whilst he does admit that the call was unprofessional, showcasing his frustration and supposed fear, which is a reach because he really doesn't sound afraid at all on that call.
Don't be a dick with it, cause I will get your fucking address and I will fuck you up.
How the fuck am I being a dick?
But importantly, he also refutes the claims that he called her the N-word and a black bitch, when in fact he said black ass chick and ugly ass bitch. But didn't he call her the N-word hard R? Let's roll that clip back.
You fucking boring ass fucking nigga.
He also says that the conversation got heated because she also used the F slur. Later on, he addresses the claim of the erection on video call, which in my opinion is probably the only shaky part of the evidence because it's hard to tell. He also notes that the parents knew they were together, when that's not the claim. The claim was whether they knew the sexual stuff was happening. Silly Riley also denies making any physical advances towards her, even though there was literal video evidence of him holding her leg at the mall or slapping her thigh. The last part of this is probably the most pathetic, as Silly Riley tries to conclude by saying he was never a predator. He also goes on to say this, and I had to read this out directly because, holy fuck, this is just insane. Because of this situation, I've been doxxed, and harassed specifically, referring to the people who called my phone, and called me a straight up pedophile and groomer. Memes were made about the situation, tagged with hashtag pedo, hashtag groomer, memes in question. Oh, cry me a river, you sensitive fucking pussy. To list your doxing alongside people making fun of you with memes is such a desperate move, it's hilarious. And it all ends off with Silly Riley saying he uses the N-word because he lived his life in the streets of Tampa, next to the Angry Birds plushies he was holding. He finally apologizes for causing the victim harm, but gives us one last denial of the grooming allegation. This twitlonger was obviously a car crash, and the effects essentially sealed Silly Riley's fate forever. In the wake of the Google Drive, some people would harass the members of Down Bad Boys into responding, which they eventually did. The podcast as a whole would also publicly announce their collective exclusion of Silly Riley from the group, scrapping any pre-recorded project they had involving him, and stated they would be on hiatus until they decided what to do with the podcast. Even Parallax, who had recently worked with Silly Riley, tweeted about the situation and expressed his devastation, as well as his sympathies towards the victim. However, due to the fact that he had cited Silly Riley in his video, Parallax's content against Hirohei continues to be hounded by fans who believe he used the talking points of a pedophile. Even Hirohei himself would hold out to claim his dues in the end. And that's the only place you'll hear the name of Silly Riley again. No activity would ever come from the man from then to now. In the beginning of this video, I talked about my experience as a small commentator and the constant advice given to me to network, meet other small creators, make friends in the so-called industry, and build up your brand that way. This advice didn't just apply to commentary, people say this all the time when you want to be a YouTuber. And a few years back, when subs mattered and shouting out smaller creators actually worked, this would have been good advice. But times have changed, and so have people. On YouTube today, and especially inside communities, the system of networking is inherently tribalistic and very closed off. By affiliating yourself exclusively with a group of creators, you have tied your name to them. If one of them fucks up and falls in the mud, you get a bit of a splash in your shoes as well, even if you were never involved. And the bigger the fuck up, or for this analogy, the bigger the puddle, the more mud there is. All you can do to save yourself is to push them away. The internet has got a lot more distrustful, for better or for worse. There's a big reason why Silly Riley's former podcast, Down Bad Boys, actually split up this July, because no matter what, it's just too hard to clean that mud off your shoes. I've said this again and again, and I'll continue to say it, not everyone you know is what they say they are. Until next time, stay safe and stay toasty.
An SCP Foundation doctor wearing a hazmat suit is escorted by 2 guards through the secure facility. They stop in front of a large, sealed door, and one of the guards scans his security card. There's an audible hiss as the door slides open. The doctor nervously looks to the guard, who motions him inside. They certainly won't be joining him. The doctor steps into the small airlock, and the door snaps shut. A complicated locking mechanism seals the door behind him. He's truly locked in. The reverse process then begins on the locked door in front of him. It finishes, and the door opens, revealing a room with bright lights that briefly blind the doctor. As his eyes adjust, he can see that the entire room is white and bathed in an intense light. He steps out of the airlock and towards the center of the room, where his task awaits. He takes one slow step at a time, pausing for a moment after each before taking the next. The doctor wants to get this over with as quickly as possible, but he has to abide by the protocols, and this is how they dictate that one must walk in this containment chamber. As the doctor gets closer to the center, and his eyes further adjust to the bright light, he can finally see what this room contains. In the very middle of the room, directly under the lights, is a man. He's lying on a table and isn't moving at all, except for his slow, rhythmic breathing, which is assisted by the ventilator he's connected to. A feeding tube has been placed inside his nose, and numerous machines next to the man hum and beep as they measure his vital signs. The doctor continues to take one slow step after another, and eventually, after what feels like an eternity, he reaches the middle of the room. The lights above the man are angled to create large, dark shadows coming off of him, and now the doctor is finally close enough to make out what he was warned about in his briefings. Even though the man is completely still, the shadows are moving. Scurrying on the edges of the man's shadow are what look to be spiders, and big ones too, roughly 3 inches across. But the doctor can't see any actual spiders on the man. Only the shadows of these massive arachnids are visible as they move back and forth along the man's shadow. The doctor is growing increasingly nervous. He can feel the sweat dripping down the inside of his hazmat suit, though he tries to tell himself it's just a result of the bright lights beating down on him. The doctor reaches the machines measuring the man's vital signs and jots down their readings, marking down that the man's medically induced coma appears stable. He's continually distracted from his work, though, by the movement of the spiders. One suddenly jumps from one part of the man's shadow to another, startling the doctor and causing him to jump back. The spiders abruptly stop moving, and even though he can't see their eyes, he has the feeling that they are looking right at him. The doctor is frozen with fear, staring right back at the spiders. But after a moment, they go back to their previous behavior and start crawling along the edge of the comatose man's shadows once more. The doctor continues to go down his checklist and audibly gulps. He's reached the final item, the one labeled physical exam. Nervous sweat runs down his face into his eyes, and he wishes he wasn't wearing this hazmat suit so he could wipe it off. He knows he must get much closer to the man, and more importantly, his shadow, than he feels comfortable with. He has to physically take the man's pulse, though. They won't let him out of this room if he doesn't. He reaches out towards the man's hand, slowly and carefully. He can see the shadow of his hand getting dangerously close to the man's shadow, and the spiders. One of the spiders stops moving, as if it is watching and waiting for the doctor's shadow to get closer. It raises up on its hind legs, looking like it is ready to pounce. The doctor gets closer and closer to the man's hand, when out of nowhere, the room is rocked by an explosion. The doctor spins around, and on a monitor next to the airlock door, he can see a feed of the hallway outside. The guards who had escorted him run down the hall as a red emergency light flashes. He turns back to the man on the table. The spider that was waiting for him lowers itself out of its attack mode and goes back to scurrying along the shadow. The room is shaken by an even bigger explosion, and it suddenly goes dark. The power must have gone out from whatever is happening outside. He can hear the sound of muffled gunfire mixed with far-off screams, but both are drowned out by his nervous, heavy breathing inside of the suit. The doctor drops to the ground and tries to crawl back to the door, but he has no idea which direction it is. He hits his head hard and hears a crack come down his mask. That must have been the table. The doctor turns and crawls the other direction, eventually finding the airlock door. He stands up and bangs and pulls on the door, but it won't move. He fumbles with his hazmat suit and finds the button for his emergency light. A chemical light comes on inside of his suit, casting his face in a sickly yellow light. But the light starts to flicker. Something must be malfunctioning. The light on one side of his protective mask goes out, leaving half of his face in darkness. But that's the least of his problems, because all of his attention is now focused on the shadow moving across his face. It's the shadow of a spider. His eyes go wide as the spider stops and stands up on its rear legs. Arachnophobia, the fear of spiders, and sciophobia, the fear of shadows, are some of the most common phobias, and today's SCP file is a terrifying and dangerous combination of both. I'm Dr. Bob, and this is SCP-538, also known as the Shadow Spiders. SCP-538 is what appears to be a kind of living shadow, not dissimilar to SCP-017, though these shadows always take the form of an unknown species of spider. These anomalous arachnids seek out the shadows cast by other living objects, attaching themselves to the edge of the living creature's shadow in such a way that their own shadows aren't obscured. Once attached to a shadow, the spiders will appear to feed off of them. This allows them to rapidly grow in size, with adults measuring a total area of roughly 15 square centimeters. Once they reach their full size, they will continue to feed, though this will only maintain their size. The feeding process seems to not impact the host in any way, and the spiders can remain on a shadow indefinitely. While the spiders have been observed feeding on the shadows of inanimate objects when no living creatures are available, these don't appear to provide the spiders with whatever nutrients they require, and they will slowly atrophy and decrease in size. It is only when they are connected to the shadow of a living organism that SCP-538 can thrive. SCP-538 are not locked to the shadow they are on, though. The spiders have shown the ability to move across areas to reach a new host, though they will decrease in size when not attached to a shadow, losing as much as 2 square centimeters of their size for every second that they aren't on a shadow. And should they be stranded in the open without a shadow to feed on, they will decrease in size until they disappear completely, at which point that individual instance of SCP-538 is considered to be terminated. The spiders normally avoid this fate thanks to their extremely fast movement, though, and fully grown instances have been measured moving up to 1 meter per second. While SCP-538 instances are usually quite benign, seeming content to simply live on the shadow of their host, they will attack if they are frightened, which is when the real danger presented by these anomalous arachnids comes to light. If the spiders are agitated, usually from the result of a rapid movement by its host, the spider will bite the organism's shadow before attempting to flee. Once bitten, the unlucky individual will progress through 5 distinct stages, all of which take place over the course of roughly 1 hour. During the first, the subject will report pain in the area of their body that corresponds to the part of their shadow that was bitten, but no puncture wounds or other marks will be visible in this location. Minor psychological effects have been reported in this stage, mostly consisting of an increase in irritability and the tendency for the bitten subject to lash out at those around them. The second stage occurs 10 to 15 minutes after being bitten. The subject will begin sweating, despite reporting that they feel cold, while their skin will become red and warm to the touch. 25 to 30 minutes after the bite, the third stage will begin. At this point, the psychological effects become very noticeable, with the subject becoming violent and attempting to attack any person nearby. Their speech will be slurred, and they may show signs of impairment to their motor skills. The fourth stage begins at the 40 to 45 minute mark, and at this point, the subject's skin color will go from being red to a pale white as their core temperature drops 5 to 8 degrees Celsius. Their psychological state will alter once again, and they will go from being extremely aggressive to overly apologetic, blaming their previous behavior on the fact that they weren't feeling well and weren't acting like themselves. After offering their apologies, they will then request their leave from the area and attempt to retreat to a darkened area. The fifth and final stage happens 55 to 60 minutes after the bite, at which point the subject faces a grisly end to the entire ordeal. Their entire body will rapidly dissolve into a translucent liquid, while at the exact same time, their shadow will disintegrate into numerous smaller instances of SCP-538. The spider offspring measure just 4 centimeters across, and the new instances will immediately begin seeking out shadows of their own that they can attach to and feed off of. There is currently no known cure for being bitten by an SCP-538 instance, and even death will not halt the process. Instead, should the subject expire while in the earlier stages of the condition, death will cause the final step to occur immediately. In a bit of good news, only bites to the area of an individual's shadow that correspond to a spot of bare skin seem to cause these effects. Even thin materials like cotton clothing appear to be enough to prevent the process from starting. The SCP Foundation has multiple instances of SCP-538 in containment, and they are kept in a white 15 by 15 by 3 meter room that is accessible only via an airlock. 4 200-watt lights are focused on a table in the center of the room, where D-Class personnel in a medically induced coma is kept in a stable state in order to serve as a feeding source for the SCP-538 specimens. No other sources of shade are allowed into the room, so that the D-Class serves as the only source of shadows. Any personnel that enter the room, whether to repair a light source or to check on the condition of the D-Class, are to wear sealed hazardous material suits equipped with oxygen tanks, and are advised that they must move slowly and deliberately in order to avoid agitating any instances of SCP-538. Initially, doctors sent to examine the D-Class personnel were allowed to enter the room alone. However, following the events of Incident I-538-1, that protocol has been changed. During the incident, an attack by the Chaos Insurgency caused disruptions to both the main and backup power sources to the part of the site where the SCP-538 containment cell is located, just as a Foundation doctor was in the middle of an examination of the comatose D-Class. Power outage led to all lights in the containment cell shutting off, while at the same time sealing the airlock that provides the only means in or out of the room and trapping the doctor inside. The power was not able to be restored to the containment cell for another 18 hours, at which point the doctor was finally removed from the cell. The doctor sobbed uncontrollably as he kept repeating that he could feel them crawling all over him. The doctor was required to attend mandatory psychological therapy for his newly developed arachnophobia and was later reassigned. Following this incident, the examination protocol was updated, and health checkups of the D-Class personnel are now performed by a doctor who is accompanied in the cell by 2 security personnel, each of whom are equipped with 2 250-watt flashlights that can be used in the event of another disruption to the lights. If at any time a staff member is bitten by one of the spiders, they are to be immediately placed within SCP-538's containment cell as soon as possible, as the failure to properly contain them could easily lead to a massive containment breach by SCP-538 entities. Bitten individuals will often attempt to hide the fact that they are bitten, so anyone who comes into contact with the shadow spiders must be carefully monitored for signs of any of the symptoms that follow a bite. The ease with which they could quickly spread and the huge threat they pose to humanity has led to SCP-538 being classified as Euclid, and while the Foundation hopes that they have been successfully contained, we all must remain ever vigilant of movement on the edge of shadows. Should you spot something, don't take any chances. Your future non-liquefied body will thank you for it. A pair of urban explorers are standing in front of a rather creepy-looking public school building. One explains to the other that it has been abandoned for years, though no one in the town seems to know exactly why. The two pull a board off one of the windows and climb through. The inside looks pretty much like they were expecting. Their flashlights reveal that years of squatters, teens partying, and wild animals have left plenty of refuse and debris lying around. There are 2 wings branching off the central portion of the building. They pick one of them to explore and start walking down the hall. As they make their way down past the graffiti-tagged walls, they stop to investigate one of the classrooms. It looks to be in the same bad state as the rest of the building, but incredibly, there's still writing on the chalkboard, as if the teacher stopped in the middle of a lesson and walked out. There's even a shriveled old apple still on the desk. As they exit the classroom back into the hallway, one of them stops. Wasn't the graffiti on the wall different before? Impossible. They must be mistaken. They keep walking and come to a stairwell. Time to explore the upper floors. They head up the stairs to the 2nd floor and poke their head out. Everything looks to be about the same as on the 1st floor. They go back into the stairwell and start heading up again. It feels like they've been walking up the stairs for a long time, though. They should be all the way at the roof by now. They finally reach a door. It must lead to a taller part of the building they couldn't see from the ground outside. They open the door and see the 2nd floor again. How could this be? The two look at each other. They've explored a lot of strange abandoned places, but nothing has creeped them out like this before. They head back down the stairs, and after only a few steps, they are back on the 1st floor. Something is really wrong with this place. Maybe it's best if they leave. They start walking back towards the entrance, but one grabs the other and points into a classroom. Isn't this the room they went in before? It has to be. The same apple is on the desk, but the complicated physics lesson has been erased. Now the chalkboard has just a simple phrase written on it. The children used to sing. The two scream and run out of the classroom. But which way is the entrance? The hall appears to stretch on in either direction before turning at 90-degree angles. This isn't right. The entrance was definitely visible from outside the classroom before. They pick a direction and start to run. The hallways seem to go on and on, turning in ways that should double back on themselves, but they still can't find the entrance. They try going back up through a stairwell, but just like before, there appears to be either too many or not enough stairs between the floors. The explorers keep running, checking rooms for a way out. Somehow they keep finding that same room with the rotten apple on the desk. They're panicking now. Every time they look away, the graffiti on the wall changes, or a new classroom door appears in the hall. They keep running, though, turning corner after corner after corner until... there it is, the entrance. But it's then that one of the explorers realizes he is all alone. He must have outran his friend. He looks at the entrance. It's so close. He starts to step towards it, but no. He can't leave his friend. He'll find him. He turns around, and right in front of him is the same classroom again. The one with the apple. Only this time, his friend is in there, sitting in a desk in the middle of the room, asleep. Gathering the last of his courage, he runs into the room and tries to wake his friend, but he won't come out of his deep sleep. He pulls him out of the desk. If he won't walk out, he'll drag him out. He pulls him out of the classroom and down the hall towards the entrance. They're almost home free. He's just feet away from the door. He reaches out with his free hand and grabs the handle. Locked. He starts banging on the door, terrified that they'll be trapped in this place forever. When suddenly, the doors swing open. Two stern-looking men in suits are standing in front of him. "You aren't supposed to be here," one of the men says, as the other picks up his friend, throws him over his shoulder, and escorts the both of them out of the school. What these urban explorers didn't know is that they had just unintentionally entered a mysterious anomaly that the SCP Foundation has designated SCP-026, a strange location that has been given the nickname After-School Retention. SCP-026 is a 3-story building that used to be a public school prior to it being shut down and condemned after both staff and students reported various anomalous properties in the building. They described hallways that seemed to change in length, classrooms disappearing and reappearing, and stairways with different numbers of steps leading up and down. The discrepancies between the building's blueprints and the reported interior were strange enough, but the former school truly came onto the Foundation's radar after the disappearances of multiple people in the area were linked to the location. It was initially believed, after sending in robots equipped with video equipment to explore the school, that the spatial anomalies were actually caused by an anomalous mental effect the space was having on people's perception, and that the physical layout of the school was not actually changing. However, additional exploration has proven that this is not the case. The physical space of the school does in fact seem to change, and even the exploration robots are affected by this shifting geometry. The inside of the school is covered in a substantial amount of graffiti, and most of it is the type you'd expect to see in any abandoned space. Gang signs, names, and street art, for example. But it appears to fade in and out, and will change location. The writing on the chalkboards in the classroom appears to do the same, and just like the graffiti, much of what is written on the chalkboards is what you would expect to find in a school. Most of the writing relates to basic subjects like math, literature, and biology. However, some of the subjects that have appeared are highly advanced and out of place in a non-university setting, such as the notes on quantum entanglement that were found on a chalkboard. Bizarrely, the phrase, "the children used to sing," has been found multiple times in a variety of places around the building, though researchers are still left without an answer as to what it means or what significance it holds. But the anomalous nature of the writing inside of SCP-026 doesn't stop there. The written content of books, notepads, and other pieces of paper brought into the school have been observed to disappear, leaving blank pages behind, only for the writing to reappear as graffiti or on the chalkboards. It is unknown why or how this is happening, but those working within SCP-026 are advised to be careful of what written materials they bring inside. Multiple unconscious persons have also been found in the building. Several of the people found in the school have been identified as either former students or faculty of the school, including teachers and janitors, all of whom had been reported missing in the years following the school's closure. Despite some of them disappearing as long as 10 years after the school closed, when they are found inside SCP-026, they appear much younger than they should be, with the majority being high school aged and dressed in the style of the school's dress code in the time before it was shut down. It is currently not known how they ended up inside of SCP-026 or why they present as being a younger version of themselves. Attempts to wake unconscious people while still inside the school are always unsuccessful. However, once they are transported outside of SCP-026, they will immediately awaken. All have displayed signs of confusion in their brief moments of consciousness. before quickly dying from what appears to be severe dehydration. Their bodies will then experience rapid advanced decomposition. No useful information on the nature of SCP-026 has been gleaned from any of these subjects in the brief period after removing them from the school that they are conscious and alive. There have also been several cases of D-Class personnel who had participated in SCP-026 research disappearing from Foundation control, only to be found within the school at a later date. All are found sleeping and experience the same fate as the others who mysteriously appear within the school. The same inability to wake up while inside the school appears to also apply to those who enter SCP-026 and fall asleep, though they do not suffer the same gruesome fate upon being removed from the site and waking. Such was the case for a Foundation agent who, during a routine security check of the site, was found sleeping in the entranceway of the school by his partner. They were unable to wake the agent up, and he was moved outside the building. As soon as he was outside of SCP-026, the agent regained consciousness and appeared to be in a state of extreme agitation. In later interviews, he reported that he had dreamed he was in a strange classroom, and the same dream has been reported by all subjects who have fallen asleep in the school, as well as by the D-Class personnel who were later found inside. They all describe that in the dream, they are sitting inside of a classroom that closely resembles those found in SCP-026, though in the dream it is in a condition that matches how it likely appeared while it was still a functioning school. The bell rings, but no one moves, and raising their hand does not get the teacher's attention. Everyone is just sitting silently. If they try to leave the classroom, they find the doors locked. They then notice what is really off about the dream. Everything is in black and white, except for the dreamer, who looks down at their own hands and realizes that they are in color. Just as they begin to realize that they are dreaming, and that they are the one who is out of place, they wake up. This dream will persist, recurring over and over, and each time it takes the dreamer longer and longer to realize that they are dreaming. They also notice each time that their hands are a little more gray. Research into SCP-026 is ongoing, and all potential entrances, including both doors and windows, are to remain locked and boarded up in between investigative missions. Alarms have been placed around the location to alert Foundation personnel in the event that civilians or any other unauthorized personnel gain entry to the site. Due to